It is the Grand Stocks from Pepsi and Langley Speedway just about set to go for the first of two races tonight. 20-lap events. Pepsi Grand Stocks, Mark Fry and Mark Claire on the front row, followed by Rodney Boyd in the 9, Paul Lubno the 14, Michael Waters in the 2, Brandon Henson in the 81, the 11 of Tommy Sweeney, 21 Billy Fisher, Jamie Sample in the 28, Carl Livingston the 77, then comes Ricky Derrick the 8, the 01 of Chris Hott, Sean Scavell in the 6, Billy Newman 54, J.R. Smith in 71, Joe Britt in the 55, Jeff Driscoll 75, and Andrew Condry in the 40 at the rear of the field. Mark Claire gets a good start. Rodney Boyd also does as he goes for second and takes it away from Mark Fry in 29. Side-by-side battle with the 11. It's the number 11 shooting up there, Tommy Sweeney. 14, Paul Lubno is right there in the top 5. Brandon Henson, the 81, then a side-by-side battle as the 2 of Michael Waters is down on the inside. He takes that position away from the 28 of Jamie. He's got pressure by the 8. Ricky Derrick down on the inside. He moves up. Carl Livingston, the 77. He's headed to the front, too. Back up front, it is Mark Claire who leads, followed by the Rodney Boyd machine, the 9, 29 Mark Fry. Here's a battle for the lead shaping up as Rodney Boyd goes to the inside of Mark Claire. Now between turns 3 and 4, Mark Claire gets a little loose. Rodney trying to race him and drag racing down the front straightaway, door to door. Then a door-to-door battle for the second, third position as the 11 is down low. Tommy Sweeney, he's got a fast car. He takes third position away. Now he wants to get second for Mark Claire. Great racing everywhere you look in this division. Smoke's flying off the side as the 7 gets spun by Mark in the 29, Mark Fry. Spins him around in turn number 2. Well, it's getting a little heated up already. 5 laps into the first 20-lap race that they're going to race tonight, the Pepsi Grand Stocks. Wow, what a race so far. Only 5 laps into it. And some great battles side by side, door to door, already every single lap of this race for the Grand Stocks.
Gentlemen, everybody wants you chatter on the radio unless your race director asks you for any comments. Thank you, gentlemen.
Betts Automotive number 7. Mark Claire gets a spin by Mark Fry in 29 over there in turn number 2. The Pepsi Grand Stock Division, it's already heating up. Only 5 laps are done. We've got Rodney Boyd set to go up front next to Tommy Sweeney in the 11. And also the 14, Paul Lubno. The 11 up next to Lubno now as they fight for that second spot. The 8, Ricky Derrick, he's worked his way all the way up to 4th. Now looks at 3rd on Lubno, who's on the outside between 3 and 4. Rodney Boyd takes off. He's got to get going fast because Tommy Sweeney, that 11, he's got a very fast race car tonight. So does Ricky Derrick, who's in 3rd in the 8. Paul Lubno 4th in the 14. Brandon Henson in the 81 in 5th. Followed by a great side-by-side race between the 2 and the 28. Michael Waters, Jamie Sample, then the 77 Carl Livingston. Here we go again, a great race shaping up for the lead between the 11 and the 9. Rodney and Tommy. Great race for the 3rd spot as Lubno looks on the inside of Ricky Derrick to take that position away on the back straightaway. Right next to each other between 3 and 4. Brandon Henson's going to try and follow Lubno through. Michael Waters looking to do the same in the 2 car. 9 laps completed, almost halfway through the race, and Ricky Derrick loose on the back straightaway, but he hangs on to it. Here goes Michael Waters beating and banging on the 8 of Ricky Derrick that time between 3 and 4. Now the 21 wants a piece of the action. Billy Fisher, he's in 8th position, trying to close in on the 77 of Carl Livingston. And right behind these guys, look who's coming. Mark Claire has run all the way up into the top 10 in the 7 car. Started the race back in the rear of the field after he and Mark Fry got together. Our first caution flag that happened on lap 5. We're on lap 11, about to hit lap number 12. And again, Michael Waters all over the back bumper of the 8 of Ricky Derrick down the front straightaway here. He's got pressure by the 77 of Carl Livingston. And again, they bump and bang between turns 1 and 2. Michael Waters in the 77 now shoots underneath. Carl Livingston makes the pass on Waters, takes that position away. Michael Waters, the back end kicks out a little bit, the MSRP car. 21 Billy Fisher down on the inside now, and so is Mark Claire, or at least trying to be. He knows laps are winding down. He's up there in the top 10, though. Mark Claire and Mark Fry in the 29 coming back to life after that first caution flag where they tangled between turns 1 and 2. Now Billy Fisher almost completes the pass on Michael Waters in the 2 and does on the back straightaway. Michael Waters into the 21 a little bit on Billy Fisher. Dove it in there hard. And here goes Mark Fry and the 7 of Mark Claire again. They battle it out just behind these 2, and Michael Waters almost spins out. He's trying to, but he hangs on to it, bams the wall down the back straightaway, and does spin in front of the 0-1. And the caution flag is out. Chris Hott, nowhere to go, slammed right into the spinning number 2 of Michael Waters. He did all he could to try and save it on the back straightaway. Ended up spinning out right there at the bottom of turn 3 and gets collected by Chris Hott, 0-1. A lot of damage on the 0-1. Michael Waters now making his way into the pits. Jeff Driscoll, that crew continuing to work on the 75. And look at the damage on the 0-1 of Chris Hott. Chris Hott of Mechanicsville, Virginia. They call him Big Daddy. LH Engineering, Hott's Produce, and AM Motorsports on his Buick Regal. And he's got a lot of work to do to get that car fixed when he takes it home. Michael Waters, the 2. His crew taking a look at the automobile, the MSRP number 2 on pit road for the Pepsi Grand Stocks. It is our second caution flag. It happens on lap 15. Well, you could see the 2 trying to do all he could to save it. Michael Waters down the back straightaway, went to the left, went to the right, to the left again, back to the right. Ended up spinning out right there at the bottom of turn number 3. And right on top of him was Chris Hott in the 01 with nowhere to go, slammed into him, and actually ended up tearing up the 01's car a whole lot worse than it did the 2, although there's a lot of damage on that left side of the automobile for Michael Waters. Chris Hott, his day is done. Don't think he'll be able to compete in that second race either, because he has got a ton of damage. There's a lot of liquid leaking out on that machine, a lot of course, sheet metal damage and metal damage on the front end of that automobile. And we were just about set to go back to green, but they waved it off, and the cars that have chosen to go to the outside, some of those ineligible for that, and they get them lined up again. The reason for the most recent one, let's see who chooses to go to the outside and use the cone. Ricky Derrick's going to be the first. Mark Claire the second on the outside. Mark Fry in the 29. Then the 6 of Sean Scavell. And we are ready to go racing once again. Now here's where the adrenaline starts to flow through the veins once again. Rodney Boyd, Tommy Sweeney up there. They'll be battling with those guys on the outside. Some of those guys that were a little bit faster in qualifying and earlier in the race. The 7 and 29 are up there, and we are ready to go. Rodney Boyd into the gas. Ricky Derrick on the outside in car 8. Tommy Sweeney with a very fast race car on the back end of the 9 of Rodney Boyd. He battles with Ricky Derrick, who's on the outside of him. Ricky goes up high, almost hit the wall, falls back a little bit. Lubno comes down low in the 14. Battle for the 3rd spot. Brandon Henson right on the inside of Mark Claire's number 7. He gets a shove by the 81, who also gets a shove by the 28 of Jamie Sample. 29 getting into the mix, and here goes the 7 and the 8 bumping on each other, trying to maintain position, but 7 into the 8, he saves it. Ricky Derrick on the outside. Mark Claire got aggressive to the inside of Ricky Derrick. Now Ricky's in a spot where he can pay back the favor. Brandon Henson takes over the 4th position as these two battle it out. Ricky Derrick down low in the 8. Claire's on the outside in the 7. Now Jamie Sample in 28 closes to the inside of Claire. There's 29, Mark Fry. He gets a piece. 3 wide as they make their way out of turn 2 there for a second. Meanwhile, Rodney Boyd has about a 3-car length advantage over the 11 of Tommy Sweeney. Lubno up the 3rd spot. 21 and 28 battle it out. What a race. Billy Fisher and Jamie Sample. Mark Claire still trying to make himself known. 29, Mark Fry gets ahead of Claire. Ricky Derrick sideways trying to catch the 81 of Brandon Henson down the front straightaway. And the winner of the race, Rodney Boyd. Rodney wins over Tommy Sweeney, Paul Lubno, Brandon Henson, Ricky Derrick, Mark Fry, Mark Claire, Billy Fisher. He moved up to 8th, Jamie Sample, and Carl Livingston. But what a race for the first Pepsi Grand Stock. The twin 20s will be run tonight for the Grand Stocks. Carl Livingston 10th. Michael Waters ends up in the 11th spot. Andrew Condrey 12th. Race is any indication of what's to come later on tonight when the Pepsi Grand Stocks go at it again. You're in for another treat. Rodney Boyd, they call him Hot Rod. Charlie's Auto Repair, Thomas Roofing, Crystal's Hair Studio on the side. Chuck Hall's next to him.
The Racing for Hope Foundation night at the races, and your most recent winner, new winner in 2012, will get unstrapped, unhitched, and will emerge here in Dell Lemons Victory Lane. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up, Rodney Boyd. Wow, Rodney, come on out here, man. Congratulations from crew members. Rodney, this division is one heck of a division. Y'all put on one great show after another. It's never a boring moment. I know being out front was the place to be, but there's a lot of action going on behind you, but you had to hold off some pretty tough competition.
I sure did. I tell you, this division here, it's so fun to race with these guys, and we mix it up, we race clean. We had a bad weekend out, our first event, and I want to give the praise to the Lord because he makes things happen. Things have been going really well in our lives, and this crew over here, crew up in the stands that don't come down and participate. I got crew members up there. They work on this car and worked on this car the whole time we were off, and we went through and changed what we felt we needed to, and these guys stepped up to the plate, and it is a full team effort. I mean, not just one person. This was a full team effort. I want to thank my wife and my kids for still allowing me to do this, but I want to thank Brandon Wood, Thomas, King Marks, who sponsored the car tonight, Matt, who it's actually Matt's car. I drive for him. Thomas Wood, my spotter and my best friend for over 25 years, and it's just amazing. We're excited to be back in Victory Lane. This is where we want to be.
And we got some friends from the Racing for Hope Foundation. Step right up, present the winning trophy. What's your name?
Tyler.
What's your name?
Ashley.
Step right up there. Rodney Boyd, ladies and gentlemen, your winner, the number 9. They will be back for the Pepsi Grand Stocks.
All right, here we go. It is the second race for the Pepsi Grand Stocks at Langley Speedway. Rodney Boyd up front with Tommy Sweeney, then Paul Lubno, the 14, the 81, Brandon Henson, Ricky Derrick in the 8, Mark Fry, 29, 7, Mark Claire, Billy Fisher 21, Jamie Sample 28, Carl Livingston 77, Michael Waters in the 2, Andrew Condry in the 40, Sean Scavell in the 6, Joe Britt 55, Billy Newman 54, and Jeff Driscoll 75. And up front the 9 and the 11, Rodney Boyd and Tommy Sweeney set to go, and the green flag flies from Shane Snyder, our stick man. Challenge already by the 11 of Tommy Sweeney, but he falls back at the exit of 2. Rodney Boyd takes over where he left off after winning the first 20-lap event for the Pepsi Grand Stocks. Great battle back here for 4th as Ricky Derrick's down low. 81, Brandon Henson on the outside. 29 trying to get his nose up there, Mark Fry. And the 7 gets into him and spins him around. Mark Fry, and a big crash right here on the front straightaway between the 55 and the 40 and the 6. A lot of damage to all 3 of those machines after Mark Clare got into the 29 of Mark Fry and spun him out. The Mike Dubin machine gets refired. Mark Fry started the race in 6th. And now the 7. Mark Clare comes into the pits. A lot of damage on the back end of the 29 of Mark Fry. Damage on the 7 too. Mark Clare, the black and the white card, the number 7. They're going to try and get as much of the metal off the tire on the 29 of Mark Fry, where he got turned. And 3 other cars with damage. The 55 is going to come into the pits. Joe Britt, along with the 6 of Sean Scavell with the damage. He's got at least the right front flat tire. Damage on the 55, the right side of that machine. They're looking to see if that wheel is straight on the front of the 55 of Joe Britt. A lot of attention being made on the right rear of the 29 of Mark Fry as they try and secure the metal on the sheet metal on the automobile and the rear deck lid. Mark Clare has made some repairs. He's got a lot of damage too on that right side of the 7 where he got into the 29 coming out of turn 4. First caution flag for this race, and it happens after lap 1. Billy Newman, he had some damage from that wreck too. He's back out. All right, everybody who's chose to go to the outside and use the cone rule to see if they can challenge on the outside of the racetrack has done that. So it's going to be the 9, Rodney Boyd, up front. Tommy Sweeney chose to stay right behind Rodney Boyd. 14, Paul Lubno stays on the bottom, so does Brandon Henson. But on the outside up front, the 28 machine, Jamie Sample. Making their way between turns 1 and 2, a little bit further back. The 77, Carl Livingston, gets a good bite, tries to move up. So does the 29 of Mark Fry, fighting his way through the traffic. And the 7, Mark Clare. Up front, Rodney Boyd, about a 4-car length advantage over the 11 of Tommy Sweeney as we get back underway. Paul Lubno's 14. Slices underneath the 28 of Jamie Sample and takes over the 3rd spot. Ricky Derrick closing in on that 81 of Brandon Henson, now looking on the inside to make the pass for that 5th position. 21 moving up, Billy Fisher. 28, the 81, and the 8 right there together, nose to tail. Here goes Brandon Henson getting on the inside of the 28 of Jamie Sample. And that is for 4th. Ricky Derrick is going to follow the tire tracks of Brandon once he gets by. And Billy Fisher also follows through. Jamie Sample's lost 3 positions in the last lap. Now another one about to go to the wayside as the 40, Andrew Condry, makes the pass. Here goes Michael Waters also trying to catch up. Mark Fry, the 77 Carl Livingston. Seven, Mark Claire back into the pits. A lot of damage on that Betts Automotive number 7 from that incident where he and the 29 got together. There seems to be a little bit of fire underneath that 2 in the engine compartment. When you see him go on the back straightaway, you can really see it underneath the wheel well on the 2 car of Michael Waters. Have to keep an eye on that. Now down the back straightaway this time. I don't see it, so it might have put itself out. Great battle between the 14 and the 11. That's Paul Lubno's 14 closing in on Tommy Sweeney in the 11. Tommy with Clark General Contracting, Tommy Sherwood Plumbing, Muggsy's Grill holding up the challenge of Lubno. Meanwhile, the 29 Mark Fry and the 2 with a good race between themselves. And Mark Fry makes the pass. Billy Fisher looking really racing tonight in that 21 machine. Billy Fisher on the inside of Ricky Derrick. He got him a little loose that time at the exit of 4. Peninsula Masonry, East Coast Drywall, also VFW, Veterans of Foreign War, and Joe Longstreet all helping out the 21 of Billy Fisher. Definitely is coming to life tonight in that 21. One of the best Grand Stock drivers out here, Ricky Derrick. He's giving him a handful as he does try to make the pass on the back straightaway. And Mark Fry's there too in car 29. Nudges the back bumper. That 21 of Billy Fisher lets him know he might be still a little bit faster. Now looks on the inside at the exit of 2. Down the back straightaway. It's door to door between those 2. 75 off the pace. Jeff Driscoll comes into the pits. Great battle between Ricky Derrick, Billy Fisher. Ricky able to get back by, and the 2 gets into Ricky Derrick. He tries to hang on to it. Billy Fisher dives underneath Ricky Derrick on the back straightaway. After Ricky got a shove by the 2 of Michael Waters. What a great division, this Grand Stock division from Pepsi-Cola. Ricky Derrick all over the back end of that Billy Fisher number 21. His car is getting really loose though. 5 laps to go the next time by. Rodney Boyd makes it 5 laps to go. Paul Lubno closing in on Tommy Sweeney now for the 2nd position. Lubno doing all he can to get to the inside, but can't quite pull it off. Rodney Boyd leads Tommy Sweeney, Paul Lubno, Brandon Henson to Mark Fry, the top 5. Then Billy Fisher, Ricky Derrick, Michael Waters, Andrew Condrey, and Carl Livingston. Then Sean Scobell, Jeff Driscoll. Now Jamie Samples made the pass and moves up to 12. Look at Lubno doing all he can once again to challenge the 11 of Tommy Sweeney for that 2nd position. 3 laps to go. Comfortable lead for Rodney. He's got about a half a straightaway back to the 11 of Tommy Sweeney, and then the 14, the Keller Williams machine of Lubno. Rodney Boyd, they call him Hot Rod, with Charlie's Auto Repair, Thomas Roofing, and Crystal's Hair Studio. He had 1 win last year. It's looking like he's going to get 2 in one night tonight at Langley Speedway. 1 lap to go for Rodney Boyd in car 9. Lubno into the pits with a problem on the 14. And he was up there in the 3rd spot. Checkered flag for Rodney Boyd for the 2nd time tonight for the Pepsi Grand Stocks at Langley Speedway. It's Rodney Boyd. He wins over Tommy Sweeney. Brandon Henson moves up to the 3rd spot after Lubno fell out. Mark Fry's 29 fights his way back to a top 5 finish. He will finish 4th. And what a great run tonight for Billy Fisher in the 21 in the top 5. Ricky Derrick finishes the 8 car in 6th. Michael Waters 2 was 7th. Andrew Condrey, the 40, was 8th. Carl Livingston, the 77, after the problem he had with the crash, he finishes up there in 9th. Sean Scovell, the 6, was 10th. Lubno with a problem at the end of the race. He will be shown in 11th position. Jamie Sample, 28 and 12. Jeff Driscoll, the 75, 13th. Billy Newman, 54, 14th. Mark Clare, the 7, was 15th. And Joe Britt, the 55, in 16th. Let's take you down trackside. Chuck Hall.
All right, let's try that now. The Cooks Moving Service Enduro's coming up next. And they'll be rocking and rolling. Red flags, green flags only. It's all coming up next. But right now, let's meet your most recent winner, two-time winner tonight. He drives it in the number 9, Rodney Boyd, right there. Come on out here, Rodney. Hot Rod. Man, I tell you what, you have this thing on a rail.
I tell you what, Chuck, it's like I said after the first win, these guys dissected this car, and we went through it, and we checked every nut and bolt, and we put on a poor show for our sponsors the first time out, and I apologize for that. But I got to thank Thomas Roofing, Crystal's Hair Studio, Charlie's Automotive, CNR Custom Services. But man, and got to give thanks to God. He's the one that makes things happen. And like I said, he's just making things happen for this team, not just in this racing, but in everybody's lives. Just little things are taking place. So it's working great. I got to thank Langley Speedway for letting us come out here and run around this place. It's awesome.
Well, I tell you what, we've got another trophy for you to take home from our friends at the Racing for Hope Foundation. We'll get that to you. But man, what do you do till the next time you come back? What do you do to the car?
We don't touch it. I also want to give thanks to Gene Nichols and my brother who's here tonight also. Wasn't here for the first one, but he was here for the second one. So give shout out to my bro.
Absolutely. A trophy and photographs await Rodney Boyd, Hot Rod, here at Langley Speedway for win number 2 tonight in the Pepsi Grand Stocks.